Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children. Because we deserve better.
That opening clip was none other than our own lovely Fani Willis, who was running to be the district attorney of Fulton County. And she had a problem with the last district attorney who was out there clapping cheeks. Booty clapping sounds. The last employees. She vowed that she would never, ever do that. But stop the show. Unfortunately, people get weak, and Fani Willis found herself booty clapping sounds, getting her cheeks clapped by this guy, Nathan Wade. Rewind, Demo. Interestingly enough, if you guys didn't know, Nathan Wade had a relationship with Fani Willis before she appointed him on the Donald Trump corruption case in the voting thing, meaning that he got those favors because of booty clapping sounds. He was clapping cheeks, right? They tried to lie, both of them, and said that it wasn't true. They met, and then the relationship started after. Stop the show, which still makes it bad. But we found out that the cell phone records have 12,000 texts, and he's been over there 35 times at night. Booty clapping sounds. Stop the show. Even when her dad was staying there. That's nasty. Fast forward, Demo. So that's the basis of the case. Fani Willis and this guy are using the money that Nathan Wade's firm is billing Fulton County to go on all these nice trips and do all these nice things. And he got that position not because he's good, but because he's Fani Willis's boyfriend. That is what is being confirmed. Now, who can really confirm the authenticity of this relationship? Can I get a ton sound effect? Mr. Terrence Bradley. Now, Mr. Terrence Bradley is Mr. Nathan Wade's former business partner and attorney. So Ashley Merchant, who's the attorney on the Trump team, got in contact with him to be able to talk about and testify under oath what happened. Now, Mr. Nathan Wade tried to block this, but here's what happened.
Developments in the push to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade from the election interference case. Just hours ago, 11 Alive confirmed the judge has denied a motion from Wade to block additional testimony from his former attorney, Terrence Bradley. Defense attorneys believe Bradley can provide or prove information that Willis and Wade's romantic relationship began earlier than they testified. Bradley is now set to meet with the judge Monday.
So now we know that isn't the case. Fast forward. Now the guy actually is going to testify. Now, what we're going to hear is shocking because remember, Terrence Bradley is an attorney. They are going to ask him some very interesting and direct questions about this stuff. Now, remember, Terrence Bradley has been texting the attorney Ashley Merchant the whole time, telling her things about both of them. He's been admitting that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis have been doing all kind of things together. But once he gets onto the stand, he's going to act like he doesn't know anything, right? Let's check it out.
I think I said that, yes. I think I did, yes.
And you've been friends with Mr. Wade for over 10 years, correct?
That would have been fairly accurate, yes.
And you recall communicating with Ms. Merchant about this case and about Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis's relationship, correct?
I'm going to object as to past and answered and cumulative by all three of the previous.
Sure. We don't have to lay that foundation. Why don't we combine it with the next question where you've got a new point to make?
Okay. Mr. Bradley, when you communicated with Ms. Merchant, did you tell her any lies about Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis's relationship?
Did I lie to Miss?
That's a simple question, Mr. Bradley. You're a lawyer. Did you lie to Miss Merchant when you told her facts about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Not that I recall.
The guy is being direct. Did you lie?
Huh?
And if you guys heard the pausing, I think we put like a ticking sound effect so you can see how many seconds it took him to answer, because the guy's lying, right? But let's go to the second clip of him doing the same thing.
I don't recall. I mentioned earlier that I speculated on some things. I've testified to what I did know, so I can't recall whether or not No.
Mr. Bradley, speculation is kind of a weaselly lawyer word. Let's speak truth here. You're under oath.
It's argumentative at this point, Your Honor. It's not a relevant question.
Mr. Bradley.
Let's find a question, Mr. Rice.
Mr. Bradley, when you were communicating different details of the relationship between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade to Mrs. Merchant, did you lie to her about any of those details?
Objection. Asked and answered twice.
I don't think he's answered it yet.
I don't recall ever whether any of it was a lie or not.
Well,
This time, so.
at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you were still friends with Mr. Wade, correct?
Yes.
And at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you knew that she was talking to you in her role and capacity as an attorney in this case, correct?
Correct.
And you knew that she was going to use that information to somehow benefit and file a motion and benefit her client, correct?
I did not know that.
Okay,
So I did not. Well, I'm sorry.
So as an attorney yourself, you are testifying here under oath that you had no idea what Miss Merchant was going to do with all the details that you were giving her about Wade and Willis's relationship.
So at the time, no, I did not. I knew that Miss Merchant was gathering information. That is correct. Correct.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not looking good, bro. You look like a liar because you are a liar. And the thing is, you're supposed to be his friend at the time. You're his friend at the time, and you're talking to Ashley Merchant. Like, with friends like you, who need enemies, bro? I'm telling you, this is the kind of stuff that happens, man. And we talk about loyalty. This guy isn't loyal. And this guy knows he's lying. He's embarrassed because he betrayed his friend Nathan Wade. He's betraying himself. And he sent these text messages. Now, he's a lawyer. He's acting like he didn't know any of this stuff would be used in the court of law. No, he thought that he would never have to testify and be humiliated. But let's go back to Megyn Kelly. Shout out to Fawcett Media. He actually did a reaction with this, so I'm going to play some of his clips. Megyn Kelly, who's a reporter, is going to read some of these clips, these text messages that were going on between him and Merchant.
Yes. This affair was going on for years prior to 2022, and these two lied. They took the stand, and in my very well-educated opinion, told lies under oath to this judge, to these lawyers, to Fulton County, to all of us.
You can't get around the truth.
I have here in front of me the texts.
Wow.
I've got 31 pages of the text messages sent between Ashley Merchant and Terrence Bradley. We've got them.
Uh-oh.
We've got them right here. We're going to go through them together. Just got them. Obtained by our guest, Phil Holloway. I told you he was breaking big news in this case, and here he breaks it again right here on the Megyn Kelly Show.
Man.
You heard a couple of them earlier discussed in this show, but we are going to go over them all in order as they happened. Not every single one, because there's 31 pages. We'll be here all day, but the relevant one. Again, these are some of the texts that Terrence Bradley is now claiming he was merely speculating about.
Oh, yeah. That's the first one. Let's get to the second one.
This morning, in the past few minutes, trying to get something in order here, the portion of text exchanges we received, we believe this is everything. We believe this is all texts between Merchant and Bradley. That's what we understand at this time. They show Merchant and Bradley texting as far back as September. Here's September 18th, where Merchant texts. Look at this. We're putting them on the board for you. You guys got to go to youtube.com/Megyn Kelly to sign up. You can watch all this live when it drops later today. Merchant texts, any idea who I could get an affidavit from on the affair?
Wow.
Bradley responds, no one would freely burn that bridge. We had heard her make reference to this back on February 15th at the hearing. We've never seen it. Merchant responds, okay. If Chris was asked under oath, would he know? Don't know who Chris is. Merchant is likely, though, talking about Wade's law partner, Chris Campbell. Bradley responds, no. Okay, so the question was, if Chris is asked, would he know? Bradley says, no. Merchant says, wow, I figured he would. I didn't expect them to be so careful. Bradley responds, he knows, but he won't admit it. I'm sorry, but this is not how someone who knows nothing about an affair sounds.
Right.
It's like the guy, he's caught. Sorry. Like Nathan's caught, Fani's caught, Terrence is caught giving it up. Ashley Merchant has been an honest broker from the beginning and was wrongfully smeared by Willis. Let's keep going. All right.
Yeah, she's right about that. When Fani Willis came up there, Ashley Merchant was the first thing on her mind. Like, she wanted to get that clear that she had an issue with Mrs. Merchant and how she was talking about her in the prior days of testimony. You know, she got mischaracterized as stretching the truth.
All right. January 5th, 2024. That's before Ashley Merchant filed her motion requesting that Wade and Willis and the entire DA's office be disqualified from further prosecuting this case. She texts, I assume you knew about the trips. Wow, oh wow. Insane. I'm shocked. And then she goes on, well, not really, but somewhat. And he writes, no, I didn't. When did it happen? She says, last trip was this summer, May or June. He says, no, I didn't know I was gone by then. Doesn't surprise me. This is the part we were just talking about. Doesn't surprise me. They took many trips to Florida, Texas. Again, that's new. We didn't know about that. And then she responds, and Napa. And he writes, California. And she writes, yep. And then he says, when she moved her daughter there. She responds, I can't believe they were so carefree. I'm trying to anticipate her response when I blow this up. And he says something about her daughter flunking out of a school, FAMU.
FAMU. Yeah, that kind of came up in discussion yesterday, FAMU. And I think it's come up one time before where they were talking about whether or not they were dating at the time or they had taken. That's what it was. It was in Fani Willis's or Nathan Wade's testimony where they were talking about you all took trips to California, right?
Yeah, man, it is bad. Now, again, Fani Willis, I don't know why you felt like you were going to get away with this when everybody knows that, hey, look, you're not really solid, boo. You're not solid. It's sad, but it's okay. You know, like there's always going to be a good job there at Burger King or Pizza Hut that you can do. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do that because nobody really trusts you. But hey, it's okay. It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junker. Appreciate you for all you do, Bell. We're out.